we are going to have a major storm system impact the U.S. in a few days on Sunday night into Monday morning, with snow impacting a lot of the Midwest in the Northeast, even possibly going down into Kentucky and Tennessee could have snow flurries. We also are going to be seeing freezing temperatures all the way down into the Texas Panhandle and possibly 40 to 50-degree temperatures down in Florida. So this is the coldest temperatures we've had since the earliest year in winter. Break that all down. Here is the NWS official snow forecast for anything over 1 inch of snow for the U.S. in about 3 days. So this would be Tuesday morning. Here would be on the 10th, where we do have that snow on the 10th on Monday. Where basically the blue is a 60 to 50% chance for 1+ inches of snow, and the red and orange colors are 80 to 95% chance for 1 inch plus of snow. So you can see the NWS is pretty confident on at least an inch or so across much of the Midwest on Monday and Tuesday morning, because you can see these high percentages of 1+ inches of snow. So we definitely are expecting a lot of snow across the U.S., mainly across the Midwest and the Northeast, and possibly even some snow flurries down into Tennessee and Kentucky, maybe even West Virginia. We're definitely looking at a major trough digging in to bring the snow in, particularly to bring lake effect snow across the U.S. up here. We are looking at lake effect snow from the Great Lakes, which is basically the low pressure system, is going to pull moisture from the Great Lakes, and that is going to help with it causing snow because of how cold it is. I'm sure you guys what the model they're showing for our snowfall potential. Here are the GFS models, snowfall potentials. See, we already have some snow flurries up in Iowa and in South Dakota currently. That low pressure system right here is expected to move over Indiana and Illinois until we get it by tonight and into Sunday night. And then eventually, as it passes by, it's going to cause a lot of snow for these areas, which is lake effect snow, from pulling this moisture from the Great Lakes and basically just helping it snow in a lot of areas. So you show snow flurries all the way down into Tennessee, possibly even a little bit of western North Carolina. That would be very rare for this time of year. This is the coldest temperatures we are also going to get. I'll show you guys about the temperatures. This is our GFS temperatures. This isn't too bad for this time of year, but once we get into the 10th, which we are getting into the double digits out of 20 and maybe even 16 degrees in Arizona, North Dakota, as this cold front low pressure system pushes through. You can see if we go a little bit ahead of time, it is showing temperatures reaching down to 50s and 40s inside of Florida Panhandle, and even some temperatures reaching 60, 65, 53 in Texas. So very cold temperatures expected from this pressure system, this low pressure system. Here, I'll go back a little bit in time. This is on the 12th, or the 11th, sorry. You can see we are getting 43, 46, 45. This would be record-breaking temperatures for this time of year. In Florida, we are getting 46 all the way down, 36-degree temperatures all the way down in Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, 40s, 37s in the far eastern Texas. This would be record-breaking temperatures for this time of year. This is a very strong trough. I show you guys the trough real quick on GFS. Here is the GFS model height wind, which is basically just our jet stream. A bit in time. See if that low pressure system goes right over the Great Lakes. You can see if I outline it right there, the low pressure system up here. And then it dips down very far down, all the way down to Florida, which is going to mean those cold temperatures. It's dragging cold Arctic air from our polar vortex. This usually doesn't happen at this time of year. We usually get Canadian air, but we are actually already pulling some Arctic air from a little Arctic, a polar jet disturbance. That's going to pull Arctic air all the way down into the U.S. Much of the U.S. is going to be much, much colder temperatures from this system. And I'll show you guys our Euro model. The Euro does have a little bit stronger, but here is the Euro model, the European model. A little bit dipping farther south. It looks a little bit possibly even maybe stronger. But it also has multiple jet streams after that. So we could get snow flurries up until Friday, possibly, this week. And then it looks like we will be getting a high pressure system, is what the GFS is picking up on. We look at the Euro in just a moment. Let's go back to the GFS and show you guys what's going to happen after the snow. Here is the GFS precipitation type, and it shows the low pressure systems and everything like that. See, it shows a high pressure system dominating most of the U.S. for quite a while after the snow flurries pass by, but there is still it's looking like the GFS picking up on some lake effect snow still going from low pressure system going into the Great Lakes and cutting lake effect snow still, even though there is that high. It's showing by the 19th, we actually might be able to we might not have that high dominating the U.S. anymore. It might dominate the west side of the U.S., but it might cause more snow to these four northern states. This is a GFS model, and this is way uncertain after we get past the 11th or 12th, because that's just too far out to know for sure for complete certainty. But it's looking like we will have a high pressure system down in the U.S., which should possibly help with some core temperatures for quite a little bit. But that is not going to be permanent. We are almost in winter. Meteorological winter officially begins on December 1st, and astronomical winter begins on December 24th. So we'll see how this plans out, but we are looking at possibly some first snow of this season since early this year across much of the Midwest and in the Northeast, and possibly even some of the central eastern U.S. slash Kentucky or like places like Kentucky or Tennessee, maybe even North Carolina could possibly get some snow flurries. Even the NWS has that on their official forecast for this system. But we'll have to see how this plays out. I like to record a forecast video if anything changes with the high pressure system. You see the high dominating right after this low pressure system goes through. High dominating most of the U.S., which should hopefully bring a little bit of cold temperatures for a little bit after we get that snow. But that likely will not last long. We are looking at going into a more favorable weather pattern. So, I'll also show you guys our wind chill, also temperatures. This is our wind chill, guys, so slash our heat index. So basically just how it actually will feel. It's showing feeling temperatures down into the 1 digits in North Dakota. 8 degrees with wind chill, that's insane. Especially for this time of year. That's very, very cold temperatures this time of year. Intense, where we are seeing where we're expecting that snow in the Midwest. 14 degrees, 12 degrees in Michigan, 6 degrees in Chicago, possibly. 16 degrees in Chicago, 18 to 20 in Ohio, 15 to 18 in Illinois, Indiana, sorry, it's looking like, and about 10 to 13 it looks like in Indiana. So very cold temperatures, even 12 degrees in Kentucky. So extremely cold temperatures from the system, even if it's not, even without the wind chill, we still are expecting just 20 to 30 degrees surface temperatures. So still extremely cold temperatures, and even going down, stretching down into Florida Panhandle, getting 35 degrees in the Florida Panhandle, and even northern Florida getting 28-degree wind chills. That's absolutely insane for this time of year. It's going to be a very powerful trough digging in, like I said, which is going to cause out lake effect snow and extremely cold temperatures. I can also show you guys our CPC, our Climate Prediction Center, temperature outlook for the next 3 weeks. Here's the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook by the CPC, which is the Climate Prediction Center. They have a high pressure system dominating the U.S., like I said, and then below average temperatures for the Northeast and for the Eastern Midwest near normal temperatures. This is for the 6 to 10 day outlook. This is not included right now. And then when we go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, still about the same, except for the high pressure system is dominating much more of the U.S., almost cover the entire U.S., except for the northeast where there's near normal to below average temperatures, and the western U.S. where there's near normal to below average temperatures. And when we go into weeks 3 to 4, that would be when we are going into winter. The CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, has all the way from central to northern U.S. has below average temperatures, in the central U.S. having equal temperatures of below average or above average temperatures, in the southern U.S. having those above average temperatures. So we are looking at a major pattern change soon as we go into winter. There's also my first snowfall forecast on this channel. So thank you all for watching. If you guys want to see more forecasts, make sure you guys like and subscribe with notifications. See you next time.